Wow, this place is certainly spectacular. Right now I'm on the floor of the Mission Valley. And to the east, you can see the huge Mission Mountains coming up from the valley. These mountains were formed by what's called normal faulting. So imagine the valley where I'm walking was once at the top and even with the top of those peaks. And over geologic time, there's been normal faulting, so the valley has slid down to its present location. And the scarp of those faults is right at the base of the mountains. And so the Montana Bureau of Mines and Geology has been actively studying this area to see what the likelihood of reactivation along these faults is and looking at the geologic history of faulting in this area. Also on this valley floor is the remnants of the last major glaciation. So right in front of us here is a kettle lake. So that's left as the glaciers retreat. Ice is left behind, leaving a depression. That depression finally fills in with water. All around here are these wetlands supporting an incredible amount of life. Absolutely beautiful. And they're wetlands because the glaciers, as they were retreating, left a lot of depressions, and those since filled in with water. So just a wonderful spot here in the Mission Valley, looking up the impressive Mission Mountains. So we're still on the floor of the Mission Valley. Now we're up much closer to the range front in this beautiful pine forest. Large, healthy trees in this area. You can see I'm walking down a hill. And what this is again a remnant of the last glaciation. So you had ice in the valley that was sort of stranded, no longer connected to the large glaciers. It was sitting there and melting. So you had big pieces of that ice that took a long time to melt. In the meantime, the meltwater was flowing around them and building up walls or high points around this low point area. And this is called a kettle. And so it would have been a kettle lake, and now the forest has grown around it. You can see the trees don't grow in this area where it's marshy with the cattails. And in front of me here, we have two colleagues, Jan Gavio from the Montana Bureau of Mines and Geology and Spruce Scherneman from University of Montana Western. What they're doing is looking for spots in this glaciated area to core through the peaty sediments and find the sediment below it and get an age on that material to better define when the ice last left the Mission Valley. Just a wonderful spot to see glacial features even here in the forest. And now it's a refuge for lots of incredible bird species. Now, as we fly up and out of the opening in the forest left by the Kettle Lake, you can see the beautiful Mission Mountains in the distance. When you look down, you can see the nearly circular remnant of the Kettle Lake right here in the forest. Between the sculpted peaks of the Mission Mountains and these glacial artifacts on the floor of the valley, this area is a spectacular Montana geosite. As we drive north, parallel with the Mission Mountains, if you look to the right, you can see the majestic peaks and U-shaped valleys that are a result of glaciation. Our goal is to get to a lake in one of the hanging valleys that was left behind by the glaciation. A hanging valley forms when a glacier is flowing down from the high alpine peaks, and it intersects a thick valley glacier rather than carving all the way into the valley formed by the rock. Now I've made it up into the mountain range of the Missions, and you can see there's just beautiful vegetation here, and we're up above the fault scarp that drop the valley down, and we're up here at a place we're going to see in a second called Swartz Lake. It's just a beautiful spot, and we're just discussing whether or not this was formed by a landslide. So a landslide coming down, damming the glacial valley, and then filling in with water, creating a lake, and eventually that water bursting the landslide dam and creating what you see off here to the right. They've since come in and put some cement on it, but pretty interesting spot here, obviously very beautiful. And up here in the Mission Mountains, you can see the incredible U-shaped valley formed by glaciation, and then the remnant peaks that are left by being carved away by the glaciers, now that all that ice is retreated and we have this beautiful vegetated landscape.